Hey, beautiful people, this is Deshanay Cotton, founder of Brand Tuition. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. This is this place where we inspire game changers, missionaries, visionaries, those that are willing and ready to take their businesses to the next level. And yes, we cannot forget about our entrepreneurs. So I feel that it's important that we, as small business owners, that we understand and stay in the know. So something that's important to me, especially because it impacts my business and then it impacts my household and things like that, are the newly regulated tariffs that were just hit, that China was just hit with. Now, let's explain exactly what a tariff is. A tariff is a tax on imported goods. Why does that matter to you? Because typically those tariffs are not paid by the country, but they're often passed on to the consumer. Now, think about this. There are three ways that this typically may happen. One, the importer, your wonderful importers, might absorb that cost. It may not pass that cost on to the consumer. That's one aspect. Another aspect is your importer may push back on the manufacturer saying, hey, look, this dude in the White House just passed this 25% tariffs. We really want this business relationship to continue to work and be prosperous. Is there anything that you can do to absorb some of the cost? And that's a great possibility. They may do that as well. But what we're seeing, especially in our industry, is our suppliers saying, hey, look, we're holding our prices for the items that we have on our shelves. But for those items that are coming from overseas that have not yet reached the ports that are traveling, I think the ones that are en route, those might be okay. Those might actually be protected. But those that have not left the shores of China yet, that are either on a boat or going on an airplane and they have not reached our ports, those will be subjected to a 25% tax increase, 25% tariffs. This 25% tariffs went on $200 billion worth of goods. So it's not just the promotional product realm. It's going to affect your everyday livelihoods as well. I'm talking about if you're buying computers, toilet papers, vacuum cleaners, things that you shave your head with. This goes from the rooter to the tutor. It's not just limited, and it is something that is going to have an impact on the everyday consumer. Why? Because it is going to increase pricing drastically. Again, these are things that are not being paid by China. Yes, there's some harms, but the biggest harm are those that we're going to feel in our pockets. So I believe in being proactive. What can we do to make sure that we're able to minimize the risk that we might be hit with by these new pending tariffs? First and foremost, in the promotional sphere, have a conversation with your distributor. Ask them, what am I faced with right now? What orders do I have? If you have large orders in-house that that are being produced overseas, 9 times out of 10, your promotional product distributor sent you some verbiage saying that, hey, look, these taxes, these tariffs are on the looms. We hope that they don't go into effect, but just in case, if they do, you might be penalized with an additional 25% 25% price increase. That's so great conversations to have about paying more money. That's one thing. 2, see what we can do stateside. Now, if it's something where it doesn't require a large quantity, that's anything like over 15,000 units, those projects can most definitely be managed stateside, okay? Again, there's rules and there's ways around this whole little thing. We just have to figure out and have that conversation to see exactly what works best. But don't forget that we do have domestic suppliers stateside that produce USA-made goods. The difference is that USA-made goods comes with a premium price. And I know for a lot of my customers, especially as small business owners, we want to protect our budget. So sometimes some of the items that are made in China, although we would rather them say made in USA, our budget says made in China. Our hopes are made in USA. So right now, when we're trying to be realist as to what we can afford and what we can do, it's having that conversation like, hey, look, it might be cheaper for me to get this product produced in the United States because I'm not subject to that 25% tax increase. Okay. So where there's a will, there's a way. It's just being proactive in your approach and just making sure that you do whatever it takes to protect your bottom line. And I say, knowledge is power. So I figured that if I have access to this information, I am going to tell my fellow game changers out there about the same thing. So hopefully you have a little insight on as to how these tariffs are going to affect you. I didn't even touch about the household realm that if you go to the store and you get a lamp and then you bought it and you walked in like today and it's like $65.99, and then you walk in 3 weeks from now, that same lamp will be $100.95. That's the way that tariffs work, because somebody has to absorb that cost. And 9 times out of 10, it's us, the consumers, that will be held responsible for that. So if you like this video, please share it. If you know someone that's, looking to place large orders or rely heavily for overseas products, share this video with them. Let them know what their choices are. But that is it for today. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and tag. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will be back sometime later this week or next week. Talk to you soon. Bye.